Good morning, guys. This is week 17, day 4. Saul, chosen king. So now Samuel, he's sitting up there and he's been ruling the people and he's starting to get old. And people are starting to get disgruntled. And one day, people come to Samuel and say, Samuel, 8-year old, and we think it's time for you to step down as leader. We need a king. We want to be like everybody else. We don't want to keep doing this God's way. We want to do it like everybody else and have a king over us and not some prophet that God chose. We want our own king. We need royalty. And Samuel's like, this is a bad idea. You get a king, and the king is going to tax you. He's going to make your kids go to work. And we're going to make his life better instead of you guys working to make your life better. And you're not going to like it. The people are like, oh, no. It's all right. It's worth it. It's worth it to have a king. We'll sacrifice just to have a king. We'll give up stuff. And Samuel's like, oh boy. So Samuel leaves and starts praying and telling God everything the people are telling him. And God's like, and Samuel's like, man, it's like they're rejecting me. They don't want me anymore. God's like, Samuel, they're not rejecting you. They're rejecting me and my ways. But that what they want, give them their king. He's like, tomorrow, he's like, this time tomorrow, a man will come looking for you. He will be the king. So Samuel's like, okay. He gets up from a prayer and goes about his day. Meanwhile, on the other side of town, that was him, Saul and his servant, because they didn't walk alone. Saul comes out there and he's looking for his donkey. His donkey got away, and he's looking everywhere. And he can't find the donkey. So Saul's like, hey. Saul found that, you know what, it's time to go home. Maybe the donkey's come home at this point. And the servant's like, hey, you know what, the prophet's just on the other side of town. Let's go talk to him. So Saul goes and talks to the prophet, and he comes up at that same time that God told him, Samuel. And Samuel's like, God whispers to Samuel, this is the guy. So Samuel goes, talks to him, and says, Saul. And the guy says, hey, I'm Saul. I'm looking for my donkey. And Samuel's like, oh, well, your donkey's been found. He's actually your father found the donkey. But I got other. And Saul's like, all right, thank you. And he turns to leave. And Samuel, whoa, I got other business for you. And Samuel gets the anointing oil and he pours it all over Saul. Hold that again. And he pours it over Saul and says, Saul, God has chosen you to be king over the people. And Saul's like, oh, cool. And then went home. Yeah, Saul really wasn't ready to be king. But he didn't want to say no to the prophet either. A little bit later, people are like, we need our king. And so Samuel goes in there and he's like, all right, we're going to decide our king. Gonna let God show you your king. So they start going and it's so they start going through, okay, now which tribe's the king going to come from? And they draw lots, and it comes out to Benjamin. Now, okay, and they make up all the new lots. And a family comes to the family of Kish. And then they draw new lots. And it comes up to Saul, and they're like, all right, Saul is chosen king. And everyone's like, all right, yay, long live Saul. Then like, wait a minute. Where is Saul? And they couldn't find Saul anywhere. Saul was hiding. And they looked high, they looked low, and finally they looked in the barn. And Saul was hiding in the hay in the barn. And he was a nice humble man at that time. And he came out and they made him king. And even then later, it's something in between, I guess. Saul even led the people to a victory over a battle. His first battle out as king. He led the people to victory. And Saul was there. Oh, they loved Saul. Everyone was happy. We got a king. But Saul started making taxes, and started forming an armies and getting servants working for him. And the trouble came that Samuel said would come. It came. Oh, and the people should have learned, and we should learn too. We're going to be much happier if we choose to obey God and do things God's way and not choosing to do things our own way. So, remember, do things God's way, not your way. And I'll see you tomorrow and we'll find out what happens to Saul. Okay, bye.